Today I'll be installing the Mazda frameless auto-dimming Homelink rearview mirror. It looks like this. It's got the buttons on the bottom for the Homelink, frameless, auto-dimming. This is the part number. And it's going to be on my Carbon Edition 2022 because this has the standard, no frameless, no auto-dimming, no Homelink mirror. So I was looking online for installation videos, but I didn't seem to find any, especially for this particular one. There was ones for like Miatas and that's other cars, but thought I'd make a video for this specific model. So first step they say is remove the negative battery terminal, just in case because you're messing around with the airbags, you don't want it to pop back in your face. All you do is you loosen this nut and then pull this off of there. So I highly recommend having a light source inside, just because the automatic lights will turn off after you have the door open for more than a couple minutes. But that's what I'm using. So the next step is you're going to take the gasket off of the door seal. Just gonna pull it down, work your way. Don't pull it too hard. Just take that gasket off to give you access to the A-pillar inside. I've already kind of unsnapped this, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of just reach up and pull that right outside, and don't pull it too hard. It's still hanging on with a couple clips, and the instructions show how to remove those. Here's a view of the A-pillar after you've kind of pushed this off. So this thing unclips. So there was a black clip that goes inside here. You can see this clip right here. That part was coming in through this hole at the bottom. So you kind of just wiggle that out, and then you're going to remove this clip and replace it with a new one that came with the kit. That way it'll be easier to reinstall. So you're going to take this new clip, put this bit right through that hole. So you can see I got that bit through the hole, and you're going to rotate it and then clip the green part back onto, just like that. So now when you push the A-pillar back in, that clip is going to go and replace this one. So now I'm going to pull this one out, and again that will use a small flat head to depress the detents and yank that out. Okay, so that's where the tether clip goes, and the instructions show something about using a flat head to pry it open or something, which I was trying and I could not get that to work. I ended up just taking some of these and just ripping it apart and pulling it out. Okay, next what you're going to need to do is pull apart the sensor housing. So what I'm using is about these trim removal pieces. Came with the set, it's like $8 on Amazon. Use this sharp bit and just get that in between there and start prying them apart. So I ended up working this piece down the middle of the two trim pieces, and then this piece unclipped. You can see all the clips that hold it together. Just keep that aside and then pull off the other piece as well. And now we have full access to inside the mirror housing. So now that the housing is off, you can remove the mirror. So what you're gonna do is twist this. Pretty tight. Okay, I needed two hands, but it was on there, and then you twist it like this, about 60 degrees counterclockwise, and it just pops right off. And it sounds like it broke, but I guess that's just how it sounds when you take it off. Okay, I didn't show it, but the same way you removed the previous mirror, you're gonna do the opposite to install the new mirror. So the new mirror is secured, so you just lined up the top of the mirror and then twisted it clockwise instead of counterclockwise, and it sticks in there. Don't be afraid to like wrench on it a little bit. The mirror is pretty solid, and then pretty straightforward. The wire harness coming off the mirror, you're going to take the provided wire, align the rails, and plug that. So the two connectors are plugged in. You'll notice this connector at the top, and there's a hole right there at the top of the mirror mount, and you're going to connect that. And I'm making sure that the wire is coming off on the left side, because that's where the wire is going to be routed into the A-pillar. So you're just going to connect that in there, and now the wire is secured, and now we can start routing the wire up into the headliner and down to the A-pillar. This isn't really shown in the instructions, but there's a hole on the side of the sensor mount, and you can actually route the wire through that hole. So the wire is going to come up through, and there's channels here where you can actually hook the wire in. So I pulled that through this hole right here. Takes a little bit of wiggling, and I'm just gonna pull the rest of the wire in through there if I can. So as you can see, it's very neat coming out the side over there. It's all the way through. There's even, you can see the channel here. The wire sits inside, and then you route it through around here. There's another channel here, and then it's coming out through the side, and then you're just gonna start kind of putting it into the headliner. And the instructions say something about unclipping the some of the clips here, but I don't think that's necessary. It should just stay into place. The headliner is pretty taut. You're gonna come all the way around to the A-pillar. So the cable is routed all the way through the headliner. Looks pretty neat, and it's dangling down into the A-pillar now. So you can see I have it kind of tucked behind here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one of the provided zip ties, and here's the existing cable that's already hanging down from behind the car, and you're gonna zip tie the new cable to this cable. Zip tie it into place, and now we can unplug the 24-pin connector. I ended up just removing the whole A-pillar. At first I didn't think I needed to, but it was coming in the way because you need to be able to access this. So just remove it. Mine is still hanging because there's some other wires, but you probably won't have those. Okay, this was difficult to show, but the next step is removing the 24-pin connector. So that's easy. You detent the tab and then pull them out. But the hard part was this was attached to this black rail that's attached to the vehicle ground, and you have to detent. There's a pin on here, a little tab. It's hard to show, the lighting is bad, but you detent that pin, and then this slides out. And you need to slide that out because you need to access the wires in the back to put these IDC crimpers. The other thing you got to do is there's the black tape. You need to kind of push that down because you need about 1.5 inches of wire space to work with to put the IDC connectors on. So now once I kind of just peel that back with my nails. So next step is you're actually going to install the IDC. So according to the diagram, there's two black wires on this. I'm trying to get it into position. So there's a black wire on top and on the bottom, on the right hand side, and you're going to take the one on top. So that's where I'm going to install the first IDC. Okay, I installed the first IDC. So it's connected to, on one side is the black wire from the connector, and the other side is the black wire coming off the cable. Just make sure that the hole for the black wire coming off the cable is pointed upward, so it doesn't bend around. And I used a combination of this and this to crimp that. Now I'm just gonna close that little red latch, and then proceed with the red and blue wires. And then I'm not gonna go through how to do the remaining because it's in the instructions. Alright, all three IDCs are installed, hooked up. Now I'm gonna reconnect the wire, put this back into the snap connector on the body, and start it up, see if it works. Okay, so you're gonna have a little bit of excess wire once you have everything hooked up. So what I did was I actually pushed it back up into the headliner, just kind of pushed it up like that. I had kept this wire tie a little bit loose, so that's a good idea when you're first zip tying this. Keep it a little loose so you can actually slide the wire back. That's why it's a straight line. And then I put a couple more zip ties. Also put a zip tie right where the three wires are. Just keep them in check, and just clip the zip ties so they don't snag on anything. So now to test it out, I'm gonna reconnect the negative terminal. Just put it on there. I'm not tightening it right now. Alright, car has power. I'm gonna put it into accessory, and well, this lit up, so we are getting power. Let me see. Okay, these are working. So a little hard to tell, but if I cover the photo cell back here, it's slowly dimming. I guess it's really hard to tell on camera. But if I leave it there for a few seconds, it's dimming, and then as soon as I remove it, it goes back to regular brightness. Again, hard to tell on camera, but it is working. Okay, so now I'm going to replace all the trim pieces. Same order that we took them, or opposite order of what we took them out. Work our way back to the sensor cover, and that's it. Alright, everything is back together. The one thing is, there's a little bit of a gap right there because that's how I routed my wire along the side, and unfortunately I can't change it now because the wires are through and tapped and that ship has sailed. So if you find a way to route the wire without having that gap there, that's great. It doesn't really bother me that much. It looks a lot more obvious right now because I'm shining a light there. Otherwise it's not really noticeable. The mirror is worth it. Super sleek looking mirrors. The buttons are really nice to press. I don't know, they have like a really nice touch to them. And the frameless looks a lot neater. Make sure you reconnect your negative battery terminal. Don't want that coming off while you're driving. Hadn't boost gauge glued down again. That's why these are there. And that's it. Overall, I mean, it was a little bit of a pain to install, but definitely worth it. Definitely doable with just basic tools. So hope this video helps. Sorry for the bad editing. I'm not a videographer. Okay, to test out, I programmed the Homelink. So basically you take the remote that you have, you hold the button for the corresponding garage, and you hold the button that you want to program simultaneously for like 2 or 3 seconds. Hold them both, and then the indicator will flash green, and then now it works. So call that a success. And I like the little indicator light that it shows compared to the previous Homelink mirrors that have like a black bar. So overall, pretty happy with it. Put it back up. Pretty flawless.